Otherwise, find your way to your mat. Oh, good. The cat's gone. All right, so as we are making our way to tabletop position, we are going to make our way to a puppy pose. And when we go off sides with the puppy, personally, I like the yoga block. It gives me that nice height on the off sides positions, but you choose your own adventure. When you get there, you go, oh, just do the stuff that feels good. So have your yoga block nearby, cushion under your feet if you like to. And then once you've got your tabletop position, walk your wrists just a little bit ahead of your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Take a moment here just to take a breath. And then soft baby cat cows, so calves and kittens. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail, but just a little bit. And then as you exhale, gentle, soft rounding of the back. Nice and slow, follow your breath. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail just a little bit. Exhale, softly round your back. Go for 3 more cycles of breath. Small range of motion, mostly just to follow the breath. And then once you've done about 3 cycles of breath, so when we go into our yin postures, we want a slightly cold body because we get into the plastic tissue with this work. So I would say maybe yoga block is in front of you so that it will support underneath your head. And we're going to start by just walking our arms out into our straightforward puppy shape. So arms out, arms as wide as you like. Yoga block underneath your head if that feels good. Soften your heart down. And then once you've got your way here, just a nice slow minute of breathing, slow and deep and intentional. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, we're going to just take it over to one side. So for me, I like to go, let's say I'm walking over to the left. I would like my right hand on my yoga block. Left hand can come in and be horizontal, let my forehead rest, or the yoga block can be underneath your head again. So pick a position that feels good so that you get a little offsides. You want to feel like there's just that lateral side stretch, but then your heart softens down and you just slow back down into your breath. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to take it over to the other side. So when we walk over to the right, I like my left hand on the block. Right hand can be horizontal underneath the forehead or wherever it feels the most comfortable. Get yourself situated to the other side, feeling that nice side body stretch into the left side now, and then allow your breath to slow down. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly walk yourself back into your table position. And then once you've got your table position, scapular shoulder rolls. Just roll the shoulders around, down and back. Just get a nice little bit of fluid movement coming into the shoulders, upper back body. We're going to be coming down onto our belly. We're going to move our way into our Sphinx position. And then for Sphinx position, any cushioning that you like. So possibly you might like to support the solar plexus. You might like to support your shoelaces. Put your cushioning and your propping nearby so that you can kind of get there and see what lands. And then once you've got your weight down onto your belly, hip points connected to the ground, gently speaking, elbows underneath the shoulders, a gentle spread of the fingers, and a light press into the elbows so that you get that nice lift and openness through the heart and the collarbones. And it compresses the bony structure of the spine. So we get a little bit of that front body work and back body work going on. So the depth of your back bend, it should feel comfortable and you can just breathe here comfortably. So find that shape and then just check in with your breath. Allow your breath to come in and out. Take one more breath here. And then if you like a little add-on, you can stay in your Sphinx. That might feel really good. That if you want just a little bit of extra depth, you're going to bend your knees and just let your heels get nice and heavy towards your butt. This pulls a little bit of a tug onto that front line of the body. So when we bend our knees, we feel maybe a little stretch into your fronts of your thighs. You might feel a little stretchy feeling into your hip flexors and the psoas area. So find the shape that feels available. Stick with that back bend if you can. Soft feet, soft jaw, soft shoulders. Take one more breath here. And then the last variation before we come up and do some different work, float the feet back down, spin your hands out so they find the corners of the mat, and then we lift up into that seal position. So here's our most efforted position because you've got to get that nice lift coming from your front body. So if you get here and you're like, that's not the energy for me today, come back to your Sphinx. But if this feels good, take the time to get a little extra spread of your fingers. And then imagine that the center of your palms are straws and they're sucking a little energy up your arms, up into your heart space, and slow your breath down. Take one more cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, slowly lower yourself all the way down. Bend your knees, gentle windshield wiper action. When we come up and around, we're going to go into a deer seat position, so zigzag seat. But because those sides of the ankles kind of land on the ground, cushion underneath your ankles in a way that feels good and appropriate. All right, when you feel ready for it, slowly bring yourself up through a tabletop position, and then we're going to make our way into our deer seat. And I'll say you still want your yoga block to come along and play with. So one leg in front, one leg off to the side, and then the leg that's in front, that's the side that we're going to twist and rotate towards. So yoga block tall setting, medium setting, the height that feels really good, low setting, ground if you're really bendy and flexy. So get your yoga block off to the side. You're going to rotate and then you're going to fold into that block. I like medium setting. It feels more stable for me. So find your yoga block shape, and then once you've found it, hang out here and just breathe for a minute. Take one more breath. All right, keeping your zigzag seat, but you're going to come up away from that twist and that fold. You're going to come up and now go forward. So you're going to take your yoga block, possibly yoga block will support underneath your head, possibly underneath your hands, or possibly it does nothing. So you're just going to bring your block around just to kind of see what feels available. And then for this one, I like the tall setting because I can just rest my head comfortably there. So find your forward fold in your zigzag seat. Get your block in a good position so it feels good. Cushion your ankles in all the ways that make the most sense. And then soften back into your breath. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself up. Keep that deer seat position. And the last minute of work with our legs in this shape is you're just going to take it into that soft mermaid version. So you're just going to get into that nice side bend, open up through the armpit. It's only a minute, so that effort in the arm will probably feel reasonable. Take a second to just breathe, and you just want to breathe like you're trying to breathe a little bit of space into the side of your rib cage and into the side of your waist. Take one more breath. And then slowly lift yourself up and out. Take a second to just give that shoulder that little shake of the Etch-a-Sketch, shoop it out, move, and just wiggle out any of that stiff, sticky energy that shows up. And then when you're ready, we're going to swing our legs around. So take your time as you reposition yourself. Get your props where you want them to be, cushion your ankles, cushion your hips, do all the nice stuff so it feels like a comfortable shape. And then we're back to the twist and fold. So you're going to twist over to the other side. Support yourself with your yoga block, cushion your hips, cushion your knees, cushion your ankles. And then once you've got a position that feels pretty good, soften back into your breath. One more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself up, but keep that deer seat or that zigzag seat. Always micro adjust along the way though, so it feels good. Now we're gonna fold over the front of the legs. So position your block in a way that feels nice. I'm going back to that tall setting because my forehead rests so nicely there. So put your props where you want them to be, get into your fold, and then work out all the little wiggles, get comfortable. And then just allow your breath to come back in and out nice and slow. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself up away from that fold. Adjust so that everything feels good. And then we take it into that last minute of work, finding that mermaid stretch, reaching up and over so you get that nice openness through the side of the rib cage. And then just this last minute, we just get a little bit more breath expansion. So just a little gentle focus of taking those slower intentional breaths to feel that openness into your side. Take one more breath. And then slowly, gently, mindfully lift yourself up, shake out the Etch-a-Sketch, shrug out that shoulder, give it a second to just kind of loosen up. And then we're gonna swing our legs around and I'm gonna say yoga block either underneath your butt or yoga block underneath the bend of your knees. It's gonna be just kind of what feels good where you can get that little bit of little soft held support. So for some of us, just underneath the butt, it just kind of positions the hips in a nice way so that a forward fold feels really good and available. So put your yoga block wherever you think it would feel nice. And then find your way into a soft fold. We're just looking to feel a little bit of openness right into the low back. So find that bit of openness and then slow your breath down. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, come up nice and slow. Walk your feet in just a touch and then give them a little windshield wiper action just to kind of move them gently. Move the thigh bone in the hip socket. Now we're gonna go into butterfly with twisted wing, but Catherine, you might prefer just a little bit of a wide leg stance to kind of ease off. So you get that openness of the hips. And then for the broken wing position, you just go tall block there. And anybody who doesn't want the butterfly, that wide leg position, the wide leg position just might clear the ankle bones out of the way. And then we go into that twisted wing position. But if you're like, well, but I like the butterfly position, cushion around your ankles, place your yoga block strategically where your elbows can land. So butterfly or wide seat position, wrap your arms into an eagle shape. And then once you've got your way there, the elbows possibly land on your yoga block. If you get there and you're like, that's a little too tight, maybe you just hug your shoulders. Go for the shape that you can sustain for a minute. And then once you've got your sustained shape, soften into your breath. With those broken wings or the twisted wings, you get that nice openness into the back of the shoulder blades. So then I just like to play with sending breath into the back of my shoulder blades and breathe, so I can just send a little awareness there and get that nice feeling of expansion and slower, deeper breath. Take one more breath. And then come up just enough so that you can rewrap the arms. So you're going to come up, give it a little shoop, give it a little wiggle, and then you're going to rewrap. So we're going to keep our legs roughly in the position that they were, micro adjust along the way, of course. Recross your arms, find your eagle shape or your hug of your arms. Go for what feels good and available. Create that space into your back body, shoulder blades, upper back, and then just let the breath go there. Take nice, slow, deep, intentional breaths. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself up, unwrap your arms, give them that little bit of gentle movement, wiggle them around, turn your head, move your ribs, any little bit of wiggly movement that feels good. And then whatever shape your legs were in, bring them in just a little bit. Take a second, give them a little windshield wiper action. So now's where we're going to come into that thoracolumbar fascial work where we get a little bit of, fast and furious movement going on. That's the words that we're using, but we're moving at the speed of trust always. So the low version where you don't put the block underneath your back, you just come down onto your back, you step your feet in, and then you push into your feet and you get that nice trot movement, that jog up and down, and it gently vibrates the thoracolumbar fascia. But for some of us, especially if you feel good and sturdy, you can take your yoga block, you can go low setting, a little bit wider, or a medium setting. I don't go tall setting, that's just a little bit too wiggly wobbly. So you get that yoga block so it comes up underneath your back. So it's a little bit on the rib cage and a little bit on that thoracolumbar fascia. And then we do that similar trotting up and down motion. You want to make sure that the block feels good. You don't want any corners or edges kind of pushing into you too much where it feels painful. We want to feel like we can just get that thoracolumbar fascia, that nice sheet of fascia, that diamond shape at the low back area, just getting a little bit compressed against the block. And then we move our structure within and jog it up and down. So if you got into a position and your back is like, oh, that doesn't feel good, adjust it. Make it so that it's a lower setting. Make it so that it's down on the ground. Find the one that you can comfortably move on. Today, low setting feels so good to me, so that's the one I'm going to stick with. And then, of course, if you're in that elevated position, support the head. Your feet will do the good work. Make sure you feel sturdy, make sure you feel safe. And then you just start to jog it up and down, move at the speed of trust. So you want to feel like there's a nice little rhythm going on. Requires a little effort from the legs, but not too much. A little effort from the upper body to hold that head up in position. Got about 15 seconds left, so go for the pace that feels good. Slow, steady breath. When you're ready, slowly let it come to a stillness. Slowly bring yourself off of your yoga block if you are on it. Take a second, come up to a seated position, back to calves and kittens. Inhale, gently lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back. Just a little bit of movement, a little flexion, a little extension, just to let the spine know all things are good. You've got that slow, steady, comfortable breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to come down onto our back and we're going to go into our shoelace legs. Shoelace legs with a head turn. So we're going to come down onto our back. Right leg is going to come over the left, like you're crossing your legs in the chair, and then you're going to re-grab your shins. We want the knees stacked and the toes moving in opposite direction from each other. With that right leg on top, you're going to turn your head to the right, pull the knees in towards your chest just enough so you feel that nice positive stress into your glute, and then slow your breath down. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, head returns to center, uncross your legs to recross. Take your left leg on top, stack your knees, re-grab your shins, toes are moving in opposite direction from each other. And then we turn our head to the left. And then once you've got your way there, soften everything that you can. Soften your abdomen, soften your jaw, soften your armpits a little bit. Take one more breath. And then slowly, slowly, slowly unwind. Take a second to just go for that little legs up the wall. Move your ankles just a touch, move your toes just a touch. Now we're going to finish with a spinal twist. And I'll say, pick the spinal twist variation that you think might be the nicest for you today. Sometimes open book twist, you use your yoga block, pop it up underneath your knee, you open up into your twist. Sometimes it's nice to go double knee twist and hike those knees way up towards the elbows and open up. Sometimes it's nice to have no props at all, open up into a twist. So find the twist, and I'll say shoot for a rough symmetry for this one, just because we're going to be 3 minutes on one side, 3 minutes on the other. So prop yourself up in a way that feels good. Open up into your twisted position. Give a second to get comfortable there, because this one's going to be our longest hold. Turn your head in the opposite direction of your knee if it feels available, and then allow that idea of softness to come in. Soften around the sides of your waist, soften around your erector muscles, soften around your armpits and your shoulders. Before we release our twist, we're going to take 2 pandiculations. So if your arm is stretched out at your side, straight out from the shoulder in that T position, there's your first pandiculation. You're going to spread your fingers, and on your inhale, you're going to yawn and reach and stretch as if you're just trying to stretch your fingers out of the shoulder. And then you're just going to take that nice yawn and reach. And then just as you find the end of it with your exhalation, you're going to take that arm and reach it up above your head. And then as you reach your arm above your head, take that next inhalation to spread your fingers and yawn and reach and stretch from your fingertips down to your hip, putting a little space into the side of your waist. And then let your exhale soften you just a little bit. And then slowly roll out of that twist. Take your time as you unwind. Take a second in that back body laying down position just so you can take a moment to feel the benefits of the twist. And then when you're ready, take it over to the other side. So shoot for that rough symmetry. So if you went double bent knee up towards the elbows, stick with that. If you went for that block supported open book, stick with that. If you went no props, open into your supine twist, go for the shape that was roughly the same on the other side, and then give yourself a second to just feel into it, breathe into it, and soften what you can. Before we release our twist in position, we're going to take it into that pandiculation. So the arm that's stretched out to your side in T position, you're going to spread your fingers and then take that yawn and reach and stretch. Your inhale takes you out to the stretch. And then your exhale invites a little softness in, and then we float that arm up alongside our ear, taking that nice stretch from the hip up to the fingers. So take your next inhalation to find that yawn and that reach and that stretch. And then as you exhale, it comes into a little bit of softness. And then we roll onto our back. And take your time as you softly roll onto your back. We're going to go legs nice and long. You're going to take a pandiculation with your legs nice and long with nothing underneath you. So send your legs nice and long, stretch your arms up above your head, and then just take that nice yawning reach, like you're just trying to reach from your fingers to your toes, feet doing whatever feels the most comfortable. So there's no right or wrong. You just want to get that feeling of that yawn and that awakeness, and then soften it. You're going to walk your feet in. You're going to take your yoga block low setting. You're going to put it underneath your hips, and then we're going to take a pandiculation with the hips in that elevated position. So once you've got your block in place, walk your feet back down to the end of your mat. Take your arms back up above your head. And the focus here is just to put that big yawning stretch right into the front pockets of the jeans, into the hip flexors, so that your feet do what they want to do. So you get that little gentle tug into the front pockets of the jeans. Arms up, take a nice big inhalation, find that yawn and that reach and that stretch. Let the exhale take you into a little bit of softness. And then walk your feet back in. Take your time. Lift your butt up. And as you lower down, think one vertebrae at a time. So lift your butt up and then go right down through the spine. Soft roll over to one side. And then slowly bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Sukhasana, legs out in front of you nice and long. Sit on your yoga block. Any position that feels good so that you feel held up and supported in a way that makes good sense to your body. And then once you've got your way there, just take a second. Let your shoulders soften, let your eyes close down. Take a moment just to notice how your body feels. On your next inhalation, gather your hands together in Anjali Mudra, prayer hands to heart center, and just gently bow your head towards your heart, your mind to your body. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, for all of your hard work. And then as you exhale, soft jaw, soft armpits, soft elbows. Let go of any of the stuff you're holding onto that won't serve you for the next few minutes of your morning. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Saturday. You guys are amazing.